Hi, everybody. How are you all doing today? It is April 2nd, the day after April Fool's Day. And I did schedule this yesterday, and I was like, just ignore AI marketing. It's just not all it's cracked up to be. So, of course, that's not true. I hope you guys didn't get fooled too bad on April Fool's Day. Wonder what everybody's got. Drop a note in the comments. Let me know uh, if anything crazy happened to you on April Fool's Day. I'd love to hear that. Um, but really, today we're going to be talking about why adopting AI in your marketing is essential to not only remaining competitive, but to leading in your industry or market. And really talking about, what does this mean, what does this technology mean for us, and what happens if we do adopt it, and what happens if we don't adopt it. Because AI is coming, AI is here, and it's not gonna go away. And just like social media back in the 90s showed up, or I guess that was the 2000s. um it showed up and it didn't go away. So we had to figure out what to do with it. And the same thing with AI is it's here, and really it's here to make our lives easier. So, it might be a little bit overwhelming right now because there's so many different things. It seems like almost like there's an AI for everything. And so how do you sift through it? How do you make sense of it? And how do you really use it to your advantage? So if you're watching on the replay, thank you for joining us, and make sure join in on the conversation. I'll be back to answer any questions that you might have. And we love reactions, emojis. Tell all your friends, invite your buddies, and anybody who you think might find this information valuable and this conversation valuable. We'd love to have you, have your friends come back. We're going to be here weekly talking about tips for marketing and AI and automation. So, let's talk about the evolution of marketing. Where did we come from and where are we today? Or maybe if you're Cotton Eye Joe, where did you come from? Where did you go? But marketing has been on an evolution. And so everybody who was around since I've been around probably remembers newspapers and magazines and billboards. And that is what we would call outbound marketing. And why do we call it outbound? Because say you put an ad in a newspaper, and why does that work? An ad in a newspaper works because the newspaper already has an audience. People are opening up that newspaper all over the country or possibly the world, opening up that newspaper, and they are reading articles. And there in the middle of your articles is an ad. And so people would pay to put an ad in the newspaper in the hopes that the right people would see it and decide to take action or buy something. Well, the problem with that is when you put an ad in the newspaper, you have absolutely no idea who is seeing that ad. If you're trying to sell baby wipes to moms and you're putting an ad in the newspaper, well, there's probably moms, there's single women, there's elderly people, there's young teenagers might be reading that newspaper. There might be all kinds of people reading that newspaper, and you're pretty much paying for an ad that's going to go out to all of them in the hopes that the people you want to see the ad are going to see it and are going to do the thing that you want them to do. The problem with that, obviously, is you have no idea who's seeing it or if the right people are seeing it. And then you really have no idea if they saw the ad and then did the thing you're asking them to do, or if they did the thing you're asking them to do for some other reason. So if you're asking them to buy baby wipes, you know, a mom or something, then you have no idea if she's buying them because she saw the ad. Or is she buying them just because they were in the right place on the shelf? Or is she buying them because the box was blue and that's her favorite color? Or is she buying them because her sister used them and said they were really good and told her to get some? So you really don't have any way of tracking this. You don't have a way of tracking the causation and the result. So you don't know if you're spending money on the right thing or not. So that was called outbound. And it's called outbound because you're like kind of standing there with a megaphone telling everybody. It's like you're at a carnival and you're just shouting out, like, come get some peanuts. Well, what if like half those people don't like peanuts? You don't really know. So you're just kind of shouting that message out to the entire world, hoping that some people show up to buy your stuff. And that was called outbound because it's you going out and making the offer. Pretty much going out to everybody and hoping that it trickles down to the right people. So then we evolved to what we call inbound marketing. And the point of inbound marketing is, instead of you going out and pushing that message out and being that salesperson, you're basically showing up and being a resource. You're showing up and showing up and showing up, helping your ideal customer solve their problem over and over and over again. And in a small way, giving them, like, you go to the supermarket, you get a little piece of cheese from the tasting table and you say, oh man, that was some good cheese, let me get another whole chunk. And so the point of inbound is giving them a little bitty piece of the cheese, a little taste of what you do over and over again, until they say maybe 5 to 7 touch points, until a person decides, hey, maybe I should give this a try, maybe this will work for me, and decides to do business with you. So inbound is about attracting your ideal customer to you like a magnet, without you having to go out and be like a salesy weirdo pushing your message in their face. Because nobody likes to be sold. Nobody likes the used car salesman, pushy salesperson. It's just not cool, especially now that we have a better way. And so what does it take to just be always there, always showing up, always helping your ideal customer solve their problem just a little bit? I mean, that takes a lot of time and effort. And to be constantly on social media, adding value, adding value, adding value, being in their inbox, offering free offers. Maybe you're able to offer like a guide that helps them solve a very particular problem in their business or in their life. Well, somebody's got to create that guide. So, all of this stuff used to be done manually. We had to either do the copywriting ourselves or hire somebody to do the copywriting. We had to hire somebody to do our social media. We had to hire somebody to write our website, or write the lead magnets and the emails, and write all of this stuff, do all of the image selection, get all of the pictures, and now we can use AI to train, we can train it. Who is our ideal customer? What are their problems? What are they dealing with on a day-to-day basis that we can help them solve? And then we can produce content with the help of AI and really just do a whole lot more than we used to do. And so we really are just able to add more value with AI marketing, because instead of having to pay astronomical amounts of money to hire somebody to do all of our copywriting, we can generate some pretty darn good copywriting with the help of AI. And you might say, oh, well, it's going to sound robotic, or it's going to sound, uh, fake, or it's not going to sound like me. You would be surprised. So you can actually train the AI, chat GPT. You can train, or whatever, we call it natural language processing models, NLPs. We can actually train these to sound like you. You can feed it your own writing. You can feed it your video transcripts if you have them. You can feed it um, your website content that talks all about what you do. And so you can really train an AI to talk like you about the things that you would like to talk to your customers about, so that you can help add value to them without spending astronomical amounts of time. Because I'm sure, your full-time job, I mean, my full-time job is marketing, but your full-time job is probably not marketing. And so marketing becomes another thing on your plate. Well, what if you could use AI to help you get that stuff off your plate, still sound really, really good, still be really valuable to your clients and customers, but not have to either spend tons of time or tons of money getting it all done? So I like to think of AI as kind of like the skip button or the easy button to really just get more done faster, more efficiently, and really be everywhere. Because you don't know if your ideal customer is an email reader, or they're on Facebook, or they're on Instagram, or they're on TikTok, or you don't really know. People consume different media. And so being able to produce content and kind of show up everywhere, it's like, oh, every time I go online, I see this person's stuff. Well, guess who they're going to think of? It's probably going to be you, especially if you're adding value. And what does adding value mean? It means helping them solve their problems. And the more free stuff you can give them, that shows them like, hey, we can really help you solve this problem, the problem that you help them solve. Give them a little taste of what you do. And so, what if your competitor is always there? They're always showing up. They're always helping your ideal client solve problems, and you're not there. And the truth is, we're all busy. I'm sure you have better things to do with your day than write like 20 social media posts or 20 emails. And so, either for a lot of us, either that's not getting done, or we're spending a lot of money to get it done, or we're spending a lot of time when we could be busy running our business or serving our customers. But what if your competitor is doing it and you're not doing it? That means that your competitors are going to be able to show up all over the place, helping your ideal customers solve their problems everywhere that they are. And and you're not going to be there. You're not going to be in what we call in marketing within your ideal client's consideration set. And that means the group of people who they might call to solve that problem. So you can think of a consideration set as, like, say you go to the gas station, and we've all been to the gas station. We're like, oh, we want a soda, and you go to that wall of refrigerators that has like every kind of beverage in the entire universe you could possibly want. Well, like most of us, when we go to that wall of beverages in the gas station store, we have in mind already something that we want. Like, do we want a juice? Do we want a soda? Do we want iced tea? Like, we're already, we don't go to that wall of soda or beverages, you know, usually with nothing in mind, we already are thinking like, oh, I want to get a Coke, or oh, I want to get some apple juice, or I just want some water. And, the same way your client, when they're looking at somebody to solve their problems, they probably already have in mind some people they think might be able to help. And you want to be one of those people. And the way you can get to be one of those people is by really showing up and adding value, like I said. And the best way is to be where they hang out, adding value and helping solve problems. And, you know, the thing that's so amazing about AI right now is it's basically kind of like the easy button. So it's not easy to show up everywhere adding value. It takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of time, or it takes possibly a lot of money. Because, say like this video, I'm going to take this video and drop it into a program called video.ai, vidyo.ai. And it's going to take this video and it's going to chop it into like 15 little short videos for social media. And then I can post those all across social media. And I barely had to do anything except take a look at them and make sure they look okay, and then save them out and schedule them out. But that used to take hours. Like I would have to send it to somebody, or I'd have to sit there myself, and I would have to go through and I would have to decide which parts of the video were good to make a short video and which were the highlights. I would have to figure out what the highlights were, and then I would have to cut all of those little pieces out. And I mean, can you imagine how much time that would have taken? And so most people weren't doing that because it was too hard or too expensive. And now you can. Now it's easy. And so AI is like the easy button. And you might be feeling overwhelmed with all of this AI stuff, and maybe you don't really know where to start with it. But the truth is, AI is here to make our lives easier. And it can help us do things that used to take hours now in mere minutes. And that's where it gets really fun. And honestly, if you haven't jumped in there and you haven't taken a look at any of these tools, or you haven't used ChatGPT, really jump in there. Just dive in and play with it. And if you don't really know what to do and you feel like you need some help, get in touch with us. That's what we do. We are helping people enable this technology in their business day in and day out. And it's actually a lot of fun, and it's so cool. I mean, it's just so new, but it's helping us be able to do so much more in so little time. But you have to be careful that, because we can produce a lot more content now, it's not just about producing content. Because if we just start producing stuff willy nilly that isn't adding value, it will become noise. And, unfortunately, there probably will be people who are just going to start cranking out noisy content that's not really that valuable. And, our inboxes are probably going to get even more full than they are in our social media feeds. And, so the key here is it's not just about producing more content or just, making more stuff. It's about adding value. And how do we add value? Well, we have to really understand who our ideal customer is and what the problems are that they are dealing with in their daily life, in their work, in their businesses, and what are they trying to achieve, and how can we help them get there faster or better, and be able to communicate that with them and help them solve their problems, really help them help add value to their lives and really answer their questions. So it's not just about producing more content. It's about relevant content. Everything must be relevant and valuable. And Chat GPT and AI can help with that too. I've built an entire program that helps you really identify and get clear on your ideal customer. What are their values? What are their, what kind of person are they? Uh, what are their demographics? Male, female? What's their age? Where do they maybe live? Do they have kids? Are they married? Um, what's their level of education? What's their income level? Uh, what keeps them up at night? What are their values? And what are their what are the reasons they might buy something like you offer? What are the potential objections to the sale that they might have to what you offer? And also, where do they hang out? What do they read? What do they follow? What events do they attend? What social media channels do they follow? What TV shows do they watch? Because when you can really get inside their head, then you know how to talk to them. And you can also train an AI to know how to talk to them. So if that's something that you'd like to explore, give us a shout. We would love to help you out with that. And also, drop the word show notes below if you would like to get a recap. And we're going to be here every week talking about tips for marketing with AI and automation. So, drop the word show notes below if you would like a recap of today's video, plus the previous videos showcasing the power and potential of AI marketing. And hashtag create my dream biz. I am passionate about helping everyone have the successful business that they desire so that they can have the life that they desire. And so please do tune in next time. I look forward to having you on. If you have any questions, drop them below. And please do tell your friends about this. Tell us your thoughts. If you have any questions, drop them below. And I look forward to seeing you next time.